Good morning from the north. I should have been rolling the camera, but I just put some of the basic kibble, the floating stuff, the tetra kibbles in, and she ate it. One day after Purigen, and my fussy fish has got an appetite all of a sudden. Now, it was getting better as time went on, but today, this morning, she's taking the plunge. So we're going to throw some more in. Now, she's enthusiastic. See, she's in there. She ate a couple earlier, like 2 minutes ago. There, I think she just grabbed one. And she's also eaten a few bug probes as well. So the fact that there she goes, she eats some off the top. This is good. This is very, very good. I've been waiting for this. I'm always nervous until I see a new fish take on kibble, because it's always the last thing they want to eat. And it's always the thing you need them to eat. That's the thing that's really going to make them gain weight. Flake doesn't really do it for them. Beef heart won't even do it for them. Bloodworms won't do it for them. They really need to eat kibbles, or they're not going to put on good weight. Shrimp's a good weight gainer, but shrimp by itself is just not enough. So it needs to be a varied diet, and they need to eat pellets, because the best foods come in pellets. Freeze-dried foods are garbage, really. They're not very nutritious. The fish will eat them, but it's not going to put proper weight on. There's a big craze with the blackworms, the freeze-dried blackworms. My country won't even let me import them. And you know what that means? That means they're dirty. They don't pass if things are like full of, say, parasites or something like that, invasive species like parasites, like say nematodes in potatoes, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency will reject the product. Won't allow it to be imported. It'll be destroyed if it's imported. And we cannot buy blackworms. And there's a reason for that. I don't know exactly what it is, but I suspect it's because they don't pass inspection. And so that means there's something that they often find in freeze-dried blackworms, and we just simply can't get them up here because of that. So that's something that's probably not good for your fish. Just a hunch, though, but if you're noticing you're feeding blackworms, and it probably depends on the source of the blackworms. I'm sure there's good sources, don't get me wrong, but for some reason, I can't get them. And when it comes to a food product, and like, doesn't matter who makes it, I can't seem to even import it, something's wrong. I'd like to know what it is, but that's just an observation. So yeah, I can't say they're good or bad, but I don't think they're very nutritious. I mean, the frozen blood worms are not very nutritious either. These are just bug larvae, and for some reason they just don't. Bug larvae alone doesn't do it for these fish. You really got to get them on a good pellet, or they're not getting enough. But a varied diet is the way to go. I don't just give them one pellet. They get the North Fins. They get multiple kinds of flakes too. They get occasional beef heart. I'm not relying on beef heart anymore, because it's just it makes your water bad, and so you want to use it very sparingly. And I just, for protein, it's shrimp and bloodworms mainly, and the rest of it's coming from their feed, from their pellets. Pellets are the way to go. It's harder to get them to eat them, but you want to tease them into it and get them off the easy foods. Like if your discus are relying solely on bloodworms and blackworms and things like that, you're probably not going to get great growth. So you got to sort of tease them into a good pellet, a couple good pellets. It's not easy to get these fish to eat like 5 different kinds of food, but it can be done. So, but yeah, I'm very encouraged by, see, she's still going around picking up little fragments, and that's a huge shift in attitude on this fish in 24 hours. And that might mean that something in my water was making her uncomfortable, and that something might be now managed by the Purigen, that extra layer. It's like knocking down bowling pins, you know? Most fish don't care about, say, a certain type of bacteria, but then you'll get, a certain strain that absolutely hates that, has a vulnerability to a specific bacteria, and so you end up with a handful of fish in your tank getting sick, while the rest of them are absolutely fine. And that's Discus keeping for you. So, but as you can see, you keep the water clear, everybody does well. If it's good for a discus, it's good for everything in the fish world. That's why these are top tier on the freshwater difficulty list. They're in the top tier department. There's other fish like them. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're the hardest out there. They're definitely not the hardest. But they're top tier difficulty level. But if you look after your water, they're actually really easy. You just got to keep that bacteria dead. Say no to swamps. And to add to it all, like, look at these angelfish. A lot of people can't really gauge a discus growth rate, but many of you out there have owned angelfish. And I put these in just a few weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago, from downstairs, and they were growing slow downstairs because I keep it cold downstairs. So I brought them up in the warmer, clean water. Like, downstairs is clean, but there's Oscars in that water, Pop them into really good conditions, and look at how they're growing. I mean, they're already quite large, and it's only been a few weeks. These things will be huge in no time. They're growing beautifully. That's the smaller one. Nice long fins. I like the long fin ones, so I'm happy they're turning out that way. I bought them at fry sized, so I had no clue. I don't know where the other one's hiding right now. Must be behind some decor. But keep your eye on those angelfish. They'll be a better gauge for most of you from a growth perspective. They're on the same feeding schedule as the discus. They're a very similar fish to a discus in many respects, but you're going to see the difference between how fast they grow and how fast where's the little white guy. He's out of view right now, but he's somewhere. Oh, he's up over here. Okay. They're basically similar size and age. So we'll be able to compare his growth as a discus to their growth as angelfish, because a lot of people want to compare angelfish to discus and call them the same. Well, you're going to see it's not the same between these fish here. And again, this is the smaller one. I keep finding him. He's the bigger one. It's probably a male. Longer fins, growing faster. So we'll compare. We'll keep track. He eats really well, so he's going to show us the best a discus can do versus the best an angel can do. Angels will win this battle. They're going to grow a lot faster. And they're going to mature a lot faster. And they'll start laying eggs. And when they do, they'll raise their first batch of babies up without eating them all and killing them all, most likely. Certainly won't be the challenge it is to get discus to produce babies. And I will breed these angels if they turn out to be a pair, because they're just gorgeous, and why not? Everybody buys angelfish. And these I think will be attractive to people. I paid $15 each for a friggin' dime-sized fry, and I mean the fins fit in the dime. They were that small. That's what they charged me for these, as fry. So I think they're going to grow up to be something special, because that's a lot of money for an angelfish fry. Look at that water. It's 4 days old. We're entering day 4, I believe. It's actually been a while. I'm going to change it today because it's been too long, but those fish tell me I don't need to. It's overstocked like mad, and it's turning into a 1-week tank. It couldn't get lazier for a discus keeper and still look this good. We'll catch you on the next one.